Good evening, students. Welcome back to my channel, The Unforced English 721. Today I am going to discuss about the chapter about the poem Sea Fever, Lesson 6. So, the poem is written by John Masefield. First, we have to read the poem, then we will discuss and explain line by line. I must go down to the sea again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind song and the white sails shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. That is a poem. So here the poet is wishes to go to a lonely sea with the open sky above, because he wanted to be close to the sea, watch sea creatures and feel the excitement of the sea voyage. This poem explores and desires for new adventures. Again and again, the speaker expresses his need to return to the sea as a sailor. Sea Fever is an interesting poem which written by John Edward Masefield. The speaker of the poem is a sea lover, means the poet. He wants to travel in the lonely sea without anyone accompanying him. He desires to travel in a well-built ship with a star only to accompany him. The sailor follows the direction of the star. When the day breaks, he enjoys the morning mist. He feels delighted when strong winds are carrying the clouds away from his path. He wants to lead the vagrant gypsy life. Vagrant means who don't have their home, and gypsy life is a nomadic life. Means the poet desire for a laughing fellow rover. He likes to enjoy the way how seagulls and whales live. Adventurous is the major part of this poem. The speaker hears a continuous call from the sea, and he says that it is unavoidable. He wishes to return to the adventurous life to enjoy his youth at sea. He wishes to get the company of a rover who tells fictional stories. Fictional means imaginary stories. He likes to take a sound sleep at the end of the journey and have a sweet dream. Here the poet has described the call of the sea as irresistible. It is a wild call that cannot be ignored. The call has the ability to hypnotize. And the star? A star always have a fixed position. Hence, by looking at the star, by looking at the poet be guided in the directions he is moving by the star. And here pleasure, according to the poet, the pleasure of the sailing are will kick. The strong wind sound and white sailing shaking, which is like a music to his ears. He also loves the scenic beauty of the grey mist and breaking dawn. Fever, here the poem name is sea fever. Fever is the state of excitement, and in this poem the poet is also feeling the same urge to go to the sea, and hence this poem is titled Sea Fever. The star will steer. The star will steer the ship by showing the proper direction in the vast and unknown seas. And what about the tall ship? The tall ship refers to a strongly built big ship capable of withstanding stormy weather in the sea. And the wheel kick? The word wheel kick refers to the ship's steering wheel spinning out of control. It also suggests that the ship is sailing on a turbulent sea. Now blown spume. Blown spume signifies the rising waves breaking into foam. And the gulfway and wellsway. By gulfway and wellsway, the poet means that, like them, he would be wandering on the sea and enjoying the winds and the tides which comes its way. And the long tricks? The phrase long tricks over means that the poet will be on the sea in his ship when his life will be over. And a clear call? By the phrase a clear call, the poet means that it is not an option that whether he may or may not go to seas, but it has to be done and he cannot run away from it. So that's all, students, about the Sea Fever poem. I hope you understand. And if you are watching my video the first time, then why don't you subscribe my channel to see the next videos, because I'm coming always with some different and various types of grammar and text videos. So we have to do the comprehension exercise now of the chapter Sea Fever. Number 1, choose the correct alternative to complete the following sentence. The poet asks for a sail, the color of which would be white. While going down to the seas, the poet wants to hear the crying of seagulls. Number C, the wind on the sea is like a whetted knife. Next one is number 2, state whether the following statements are true or false. Provide statements, phrase, words in support of your answer. Number A, to steer the ship, the poet needs the moon. That is false statement. And the supporting statement is like this. And all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. The call of the running tide is wide and clear. Supporting statement, as because it is a true statement. For the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not deny it. Number C, the poet is going out to the sea for the first time. That is false statement. Supporting statement is that one. I must go down to the seas again. Now, question answer. Number 3, during what time of the day does the poet wish to go down to the seas? The poet wishes to go down to the seas at the time when the dawn is breaking. What kind of day does the poet prefer for sailing? The poet prefers a windy day with the white clouds moving about the sky. Number C, what does the poet prefer to hear from a fellow rover? The poet prefers to hear a merry yarn from the fellow rover. Now grammar in use. Number 4, do as directed. What is a shocking sight? Change into assertive sentence. It is a very shocking sight. Number B, I am sure of his success. Change into a complex sentence. I am sure that he will succeed. Number C, Snigdha is not only wish but also brave. Change into simple sentence. Snigdha is wise and brave. That's all, students, for this chapter Sea Fever. I hope you understand, and that is the last video of this year 2021, because your test exam is it's knocking on your door, and that is the 6th chapter and the last chapter of your syllabus for this year. So that's all, and I will make videos on grammar chapter. So if you are new here, you subscribe my channel, and if you are already my subscriber, then why don't you hit the like button? It will inspire me. And that's all, and good luck for your exam. Thank you.